listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello everyone, welcome to day 145. We are continuing in the book of 1 Samuel, and we meet the champion of the Philistines, Goliath. And as the army of Israel and the army of the Philistines stand facing each other across a vast valley, Goliath is in the center, and he's asking for any worthy Israelite to fight him. And along comes the young David, who has already been anointed by Samuel, but he is still young and has never been a soldier before. But he claims he's fought off some wild animals. So what do you think? Is fighting a bunch of wild animals the same as fighting Goliath? And in the meantime, Saul has his own problems. He's still king of Israel. He's not the man he once was. He's got this evil spirit that keeps going into him. And the only cure is for the young David, the shepherd from Bethlehem, to play the harp. And somehow that soothes the soul of Saul. But he certainly is in no condition to take on the Philistines or Goliath. And we are also continuing in the book of John. Jesus preaches to his followers the importance of being connected. And he talks about the Holy Spirit and its role in continuing Jesus' legacy and teachings. If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started. 1 Samuel chapter 16. Samuel goes to Bethlehem. The Lord said to Samuel,
"How long will you feel sad about Saul? I have rejected him as king of Israel. Fill your horn with oil and go to Bethlehem. I am sending you to Jesse, who lives in Bethlehem, because I have chosen one of his sons to be the new king."
But Samuel said, "If I go, Saul will hear the news and try to kill me." The Lord said,
"Take a young calf with you and tell them, I have come to make a sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice. Then I will show you what to do. You must anoint the person I show you."
Samuel did what the Lord told him to do and went to Bethlehem. And the leaders of the city came to meet him. They were shaking with fear. They asked Samuel, "Do you come in peace?" Samuel answered,
"Yes, I have come to make a sacrifice to the Lord. Prepare yourselves to come and celebrate with me today."
Then Samuel prepared Jesse and his sons, and he invited them to come and share the sacrifice. When Jesse and his sons arrived, Samuel saw Eliab and thought,
"Surely this is the man the Lord has chosen."
But the Lord said to Samuel,
"Eliab is tall and handsome, but don't judge by that. God doesn't look at things the way people do. People judge by what they see on the outside, but the Lord looks at the heart. Eliab is not the right man."
Then Jesse called his second son, Abinadab. Abinadab walked by Samuel. But Samuel said,
"No, this is not the man the Lord has chosen."
Then Jesse told Shammah to walk by Samuel. But Samuel said,
"No, the Lord did not choose this man either."
Jesse showed 7 of his sons to Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse,
"The Lord has not chosen any of these men."
Then he asked Jesse,
"Are these all the sons you have?"
Jesse answered, "No, I have another son, my youngest. But he's out taking care of the sheep," Samuel said.
Send for him. Bring him here. We won't sit down to eat until he arrives."
Jesse sent someone to get his youngest son. This son was a good-looking, healthy young man. He was very handsome. The Lord said to Samuel,
Get up and anoint him. He is the one.
Samuel took the horn with the oil in it and poured the special oil on Jesse's youngest son in front of his brothers. The Spirit of the Lord came on David with great power from that day on. Then Samuel went back home to Ramah. The Lord's Spirit left Saul. Then the Lord sent an evil spirit to Saul that caused him much trouble. Saul's servants said to him, "An evil spirit from God is bothering you. Give us the command, and we will look for someone who can play the harp. Whenever the evil spirit from God comes on you, the harpist will play music for you. Then you will feel better." So Saul said to his servants,
Find someone who plays music well. Bring him to me.
One of the servants said,
"There is a man named Jesse living in Bethlehem whose son can play the harp. He is also a brave man and fights well. He is smart and handsome, and the Lord is with him."
So Saul sent messengers to Jesse. They told Jesse,
You have a son named David. He takes care of your sheep. Send him to me.
So Jesse got a donkey, some bread, and a leather bag full of wine, and a young goat as gifts for Saul. He gave them to David and sent him to Saul. When David went to Saul, he began to serve him. Saul loved David very much. He became the helper who carried Saul's weapons. Saul sent a message to Jesse. Let David stay and serve me. I like him very much. Anytime the evil spirit from God came on Saul, David would take his harp and play it. The evil spirit would leave Saul, and he would begin to feel better. First Samuel chapter 17, verses 1 to 37. Goliath challenges Israel. The Philistines gathered their armies for war. They met at Soka in Judah. Their camp was between Soka and Azekah, at a town called Ephes Dammim. Saul and the Israelite soldiers also gathered at their camp in the valley of Elah. Saul's soldiers were lined up and ready to fight the Philistines. The Philistines were on one hill, and the Israelites were on the other hill. The valley was between them. The Philistines had a champion fighter named Goliath, who was from Gath. He was almost 3 meters tall. Goliath came out of the Philistine camp. He had a bronze helmet on his head. He wore a coat of armor that was made like the scales on fish. It was made of bronze and weighed about 57 kilograms. Goliath wore bronze protectors on his legs. He had a bronze javelin tied on his back. The wooden part of his spear was as big as a post. The spear's blade weighed 7 kilograms. Goliath's helper walked in front of him, carrying Goliath's shield. Each day Goliath would come out and shout a challenge to the Israelite soldiers. He would say,
Why are all your soldiers lined up ready for battle? You are Saul's servants, and I am a Philistine. So choose one man and send him to fight me. If that man kills me, we will become your slaves. But if I kill your man, you will become our slaves.
The Philistine also said,
Today I stand to make fun of the army of Israel. I dare you. to send me one of your men and let us fight.
Saul and the Israelite soldiers heard what Goliath said, and they were very afraid. David was the son of Jesse, who belonged to the family of Ephrathah from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons. In Saul's time, Jesse was an old man. Jesse's 3 oldest sons went with Saul to the war. The first son was Eliab, the second son was Abinadab, and the third was Shammah. David was the youngest son. The 3 oldest sons were in Saul's army. But David left Saul from time to time to take care of his father's sheep at Bethlehem. The Philistine came out every morning and evening and stood before the Israelite army. Goliath insulted Israel like this for 40 days. One day Jesse said to his son David,
"Take this basket of cooked grain and these 10 loaves of bread to your brothers in the camp. Also, take these 10 pieces of cheese for the officer who commands your brother's group of 1,000 soldiers. See how your brothers are doing. Bring back something to show me your brothers are all right. Your brothers are with Saul and all the Israelite soldiers in the valley of Elah. They are there to fight against the Philistines."
Early in the morning, David had another shepherd take care of the sheep while he took the food and left, as Jesse had told him to. When David arrived at the camp, the soldiers were going out to their battle positions. The soldiers began shouting their war cry. The Israelites and Philistines were lined up and ready for battle. David left the food with the man who kept the supplies. Then he ran to the place where the Israelite soldiers were and asked about his brothers. While David was talking with his brothers, the Philistine champion came out from the Philistine army. This was Goliath, the Philistine from Gath. Goliath shouted things against Israel as usual. David heard what he said. The Israelite soldiers saw Goliath and ran away. They were all afraid of him. They said, "Have you seen that man? He comes out every day and makes fun of Israel. Whoever kills him will get rich. King Saul will give him a lot of money. He will also marry the king's daughter, and his family will be free from paying taxes in Israel." David asked the men standing near him,
"What did he say? What is the reward for killing this Philistine and taking away this shame from Israel? Who is this Goliath anyway? He is only some foreigner, nothing but a Philistine. Why does he think he could speak against the army of the living God?"
So the soldiers told David about the reward for killing Goliath. David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking with the men and became angry. Eliab asked David,
Why are you here? Who's taking care of your sheep out there in the desert? But I know you. You always do what you want to do instead of what you're told to do. You just wanted to watch the fighting.
David said.
"What have I done now? I asked a few questions. What's wrong with that?"
He turned to some other people and asked them the same questions. They gave him the same answers. Some men heard David talking. They took David to Saul and told him what David had said. David said to Saul,
"People shouldn't let Goliath discourage him. I am your servant, so I will go and fight this Philistine."
Saul answered,
You can't go out and fight against the Philistine. You're not even a soldier. Goliath has been fighting in wars since he was a boy.
But David said to Saul,
"I have had the job of taking care of my father's sheep. Every time a lion or a bear has come to carry off a sheep from the flock, I have chased that wild animal, struck it down, and freed the sheep from its mouth. If the wild animal turned to attack me, I grabbed it by the fur under its jaw and beat it to death. I killed both a lion and a bear like that. And I will do the same to that foreigner Goliath. He will die because he made fun of the army of the living God. The Lord saved me from the lion and the bear, he will also save me from this Philistine.
Saul said to David,
Go, and may the Lord be with you.
John chapter 15 to chapter 16, verse 4. Jesus is like a vine. Jesus said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that does not produce fruit. He also trims every branch that produces fruit to prepare it to produce even more. You have already been prepared to produce more fruit by the teaching I have given you. Stay joined to me, and I will stay joined to you. No branch can produce fruit alone. It must stay connected to the vine. It is the same with you. You cannot produce fruit alone. You must stay joined to me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. If you stay joined to me, and I to you, you will produce plenty of fruit. But separated from me, you won't be able to do anything. If you don't stay joined to me, it will be like a branch that has been thrown out and has dried up. All the dead branches like that are gathered up, thrown into the fire, and burned. Stay joined together with me and follow my teachings. If you do this, you can ask for anything you want, and it will be given to you. Show that you are my followers by producing much fruit. This will bring honor to my Father. I have loved you as the Father has loved me. Now continue in my love. I have obeyed my Father's commands, and he continues to love me. In the same way, if you obey my commands, I will continue to love you. I have told you these things so that you can have the true happiness that I have. I want you to be completely happy. This is what I command you. Love each other as I have loved you. The greatest love people can show is to die for their friends. You are my friends if you do what I tell you to do. I no longer call you servants because servants don't know what their master is doing. But now I call you friends because I have told you everything that my Father told me. You did not choose me, I chose you. And I gave you this work to go and produce fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you anything you ask for in my name. This is my command. Love each other. If the world hates you, remember that they hated me first. If you belong to the world would love you as it loves its own people. But I have chosen you to be different from those in the world. So you don't belong to the world, and that is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you. Slaves are not respected more than their master. If people mistreated me, they will mistreat you too. And if they accepted my teaching, they will accept yours too. They will do to you whatever they did to me because you belong to me. They don't know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to the people of the world, they would not be guilty of sin. But now I have spoken to them, so they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me also hates my Father. I did things among the people of the world that no one else has ever done. If I had not done those things, they would not be guilty of sin. But they have seen what I did, and still they hate me and my Father. But this happened to make clear the full meaning of what is written in their law. They hated me for no reason. I will send you the Helper from the Father. The Helper is the Spirit of truth who comes from the Father. When he comes, he will tell people about me, and you will tell people about me too, because you have been with me from the beginning. I have told you all this so that you won't lose your faith when you face troubles. People will tell you to leave their synagogues and never come back. In fact, the time will come when they will think that killing you would be doing a service for God. They will do this because they have not known the Father, and they have not known me. I have told you all this now to prepare you. So when the time comes for these things to happen, you will remember that I warned you. Psalm chapter 67. For the music director, with instruments, a song. God, show mercy to us and bless us. Please accept us. Salah. Let everyone on earth learn about you. Let every nation see how you save people. May people praise you, God. May all people praise you. May all nations rejoice and be happy, because you judge people fairly. You rule over every nation. Salah. May the people praise you, God. May all people praise you. God, our God, bless us. Let our land give us a great harvest. May God bless us, and may all people on earth fear and respect him. Thank you, everyone. That was day 145. Join us for day 146. It's the match of the century, if not the millennium, of David versus Goliath. But what happens after the battle? What happens to David? Stay with us to find all the drama. And in the book of John, Jesus continues to teach his followers about the work of the Holy Spirit and promises that there will be victory over the world, and finally prays for himself and his followers. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.